Miriam Makeba, the voice of Africa, a singer whose music and activism echoed across the globe. From her unforgettable melodies to her fearless stance against apartheid, Makeba's life was a journey of resistance, empowerment and resilience. Today we explore the story of the legendary Mama Africa. Exile Miriam Makeba was born on March 4, 1932 in Johannesburg, South Africa. Growing up during the harsh realities of apartheid, Makeba's childhood was marked by racial segregation and oppression. But even as a young girl, she had a powerful voice that would one day become her weapon in the fight for justice. Makeba's musical journey began in the church, where she sang in choirs, developing her voice and love for harmonies. Her breakthrough came in the 1950s when she joined the all-woman group, the Skylarks, blending traditional South African melodies with jazz and swing. Her captivating performances quickly caught the attention of audiences across South Africa and soon the world. In 1959, Miriam starred in the hit South African musical King Kong, which opened the doors to international fame. Her collaboration with the Manhattan Brothers, a popular vocal group, further solidified her status as a rising star. But while Makeba was gaining fame, she was also becoming more aware of the political struggles in her homeland. After appearing in an anti-apartheid documentary, Makeba was exiled from South Africa in 1960. But her exile only amplified her voice. Moving to the US, she collaborated with American icons like Harry Belafonte, performing on major stages and using her music to speak out against the apartheid regime. In 1966, she became the first African artist to win a Grammy Award for her collaboration with Belafonte on An Evening with Belafonte Makeba. Makeba's music was not just about entertainment. Songs like Pata Pata and the Click Song celebrated African identity and culture. Her use of the Xhosa language and her unique click sounds made her a symbol of African pride, even as she gained international fame. Her music was deeply rooted in the struggle for freedom, and her performances were a blend of joy, sorrow, and hope. While her music was making waves, Makeba was also an outspoken activist. In 1963, she made history by becoming the first black woman to address the United Nations, where she condemned apartheid and called for international action against South Africa's racist government. Her courage and conviction made her a powerful voice for the oppressed, but it also came at a cost. After speaking out at the UN, the South African government revoked her passport, leaving her stateless. For 30 years, Makeba lived in exile, moving between the US, Guinea and Europe, but she never stopped using her platform to advocate for the liberation of her people and the African continent. In 1968, Makeba married Stokely Carmichael, a prominent figure in the US civil rights movement. This controversial marriage resulted in backlash from the US government and led to Makeba's departure from America. She settled in Guinea, where she became a diplomat, using her voice not only in music, but in political arenas across Africa and the world. Throughout her exile, Makeba continued to record music, releasing albums that blended jazz, Afropop, and traditional African sounds. She also became a global ambassador for humanitarian causes, from the fight against apartheid to campaigns against hunger and disease. When apartheid finally ended and Nelson Mandela was released in 1990, Makeba was invited to return to South Africa after 3 decades of exile. Miriam Makeba's return to South Africa was a triumphant moment, both for her and for the nation she had fought for. She continued to perform, releasing music and standing as a symbol of resilience and resistance. Her voice had never been silenced, and now it was welcomed home. Even in her later years, Makeba remained active, performing on stages worldwide and using her voice to support justice and peace. In 2008, at the age of 76, Miriam Makeba passed away after collapsing on stage in Italy during a concert for human rights. It was a fitting end for a woman whose life had been dedicated to using her music for the betterment of humanity. Mama Africa's legacy lives on. From South African singers like Yvonne Chaka Chaka to global superstars like Angelique Kidjo, Miriam Makeba paved the way for African women to use their voices, both in music and in activism. Her courage, her music and her message continue to inspire artists and activists around the world. Miriam Makeba, the voice of Africa, a trailblazer and a fearless advocate for freedom. Her songs and her legacy will echo through the ages. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more stories of the legends who shaped African music and the world.